Hey everyone, I'm here at the MTC from Microsoft here in Amsterdam. Grabbed Michel Bouman, Solution Specialist Lead for Microsoft Teams Room here in EMEA. And we're going to be talking about management. We want to talk about how we take our beautiful new MTR, hopefully a Crestron one, out of the box, get it set up, but not just from an AV point of view. There's the difference with MTR versus legacy video conferencing is there's an IT element now. We've got to create resource accounts and things like that. So, Michel, talk us through the journey. We've got our beautiful Crestron device turned up, the AV integrator's there installing it. What do we need? And again, how's Pro Portal going to help us get that system up and running fast on our network?
Right, so the first step is you create your resource account and you add the Teams Pro license. I think that's step number one that you need to take. But then you need to start configuring the resource account. You a big fan of PowerShell?
No.
No, me neither, right? I think I'm okay with it, but I need to look it up, and it's very complicated for me, and I know that for a lot of you out there, it's complicated as well. What you can do now in the Microsoft Teams Rooms Pro Management Portal is you can configure the resource account right then and there. You can set your own toggles, accept external meetings, auto-accept meetings, maybe add a little bit of text in the invite, accept the email that is sent when you accept the invite, all that kind of stuff. You can toggle that right in the Microsoft Teams Rooms Pro Management Portal. What we also do is we have some recommended settings. So you can also toggle those settings and it'll be deployed automatically. So no more having to go into PowerShell. You can all do that from the Pro Management Portal.
And you can create these templates. So I guess if you've got 10 small huddle rooms and you want to put in an 11th in a month's time, then you can create that template and then just deploy that template. Get those kind of architectures set up, those blueprints set up, and then just roll those out as you move forward.
Yes, you can create all different blueprints for the different types of rooms that you have in your offices. You can look at inventory of all the devices that you might have in your network. So there's a lot of signals coming into the Teams Rooms Pro Management Portal that are going to make it easier in the kind of, let's call it the pre-deployment phase. So
we've got our system set up, we've got our resource account set up, we've got our template set up, the room's up and working, I can make Teams calls. My day-to-day, I want to be able to do things like manage the room, look at the analytics of the room, do software updates. How's Pro Portal going to help me with that?
Let's start with analytics, because one thing you want to know is how are these rooms actually being utilized?
Absolutely.
You can see that in the Pro Management Portal as well. So you can see how the rooms are being utilized. Is video being used, yes or no? Are there more ad hoc calls or are meetings scheduled beforehand? And then you can really start analyzing your office and say, oh, we're seeing that this room is not being utilized. Maybe we should find another function for this room. Or, most of the time there are an X amount of people in this room while it's made for a different room size. So you can really start to see how rooms are being utilized in the office.
Right. And updates, again.
Yes.
Updates is a big piece, managing your software rollouts of features and functions. We're going to talk about 418 for Windows is coming out. Great new features coming in that. But how does an IT manager, how does the manager of the estate work with updates? Can we schedule them? Can we test them in certain environments or certain rooms or departments first before we do a mass rollout to everywhere?
Yeah, we can. I mean, nerds like you and I, we love to have the newest features first, of course. But I can imagine if you are rolling out Teams rooms in a company, you might maybe as an IT department, you might want to test those features first, and then once you've tested it over a certain period of time, that's when you want to start rolling out to the rest of the company. And maybe you even want your executives to get the features last, so that everybody has gone through testing. So you can set up update rings in the Pro Management Portal where you can say, okay, we'll deploy for 7 days, then we'll wait 5 days, then we'll start deploying into the next ring, etc., etc. So you can set up those admin rings right there in the Pro Management Portal.
Very cool. Now, the big question that I get asked, or one of the big questions I get asked, is Teams Admin Center versus and Pro Portal. What's the differences? Why would I use one versus the other, or why would I use both in certain scenarios?
Right, so I think there are more features currently in the Pro Management Portal when it comes to managing your Microsoft Teams rooms. Of course, in Teams Admin Center, you can also manage all your other Teams-related stuff, like setting up your users, setting up calling, all these things that come with Microsoft Teams, setting up meeting policies. Pro Management Portal is really for your Teams rooms devices. What I like about it is, let's say there's an issue with one of the rooms. You'll get a notification of the issue. First, we'll try to mitigate the issue in our cloud. If we can't, we'll send you a notification. You can even connect it to some of the ticketing systems that are out there. So you get the notification. You'll not only see what the problem is, why it's a problem, but you'll also get the solution right then and there, and it's basically click through to fix these solutions. So there's a lot of intelligence going into all of these signals that we're getting from devices all around the world to make it easier for you to solve issues that you might have. And you can see, is there an issue with the peripheral? Is there an issue with the network? Is there a connectivity issue? And then what is the issue? And like I said, how do we solve it?
Interesting. Now, that leads me on nicely, and I'm going to get you to lead me onto it, with obviously Microsoft, the Pro Portal, the Teams Admin Center, and then the OEMs have their own management portal. Crestron has XiO Cloud, other OEMs have their own management portal. Again, help me, and help everybody else understand, why and what and how and why we would use one versus the other.
Right. So we learn a lot from our OEMs and all the great stuff that you do with your management tools. So we're trying to bring as many of those features that we see with the solutions that you're building into the Pro Management Portal as well. But I know you're doing stuff outside of just the Teams Rooms device in your management portals as well, right?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing that Crestron adds on top of the Teams management portal, and again, it's not an or. I think we add some additional value in the fact of outside of the Teams call. So the ability to manage the AV of the room. Is the display turned on? Is it just turned off? Is it on the right HDMI input? We can schedule, if it's a Crestron connected device, to turn the screens on in the morning and off in the evening. So again, other vendors might say, well, okay, we can check the status of our product, but all they can do is check if their bar or their camera or their system is on or off. With the Crestron XiO Cloud, we get the awareness outside of the MTR system. Again, it's a display on, the lights on, the lights off, but then also value adding on the analytics piece that you were talking about, having room occupancy sensors. So again, if someone's just having a sit-down meeting, maybe they're not even using the MTR, they're just coming in for a physical meeting. Again, using Crestron occupancy sensors through XiO, we can track and manage those analytics as well as environmental things like lights, shades, and things like that. So it's definitely not an or, it's an and I think, for certain customers, they might want to get that additional capability above what Pro Portal can do on the team stuff to the environmental piece around the room. So, definitely working hand in hand together on that.
And I think there's a big opportunity. If you are a Microsoft partner watching this or a Crestron partner watching this, not so much an end customer, I think there's a big opportunity for you out there to build managed services around this solution. I mean, traditional AV was always very project driven, right? So you had a large project, you would make a large sum of revenue, and it kind of ended there. I think with Microsoft Teams Rooms, you can still focus on that executive room, which might be a little bit more complicated than maybe your huddle rooms, which is more about how can you deploy at scale. I think if you look at the penetration of Microsoft Teams in general in our regions, there's a lot of users that are using Microsoft Teams. So there's a big opportunity for you as a partner to start rolling out Teams Rooms devices at scale in the rooms beyond the, let's call it the more complicated rooms. And now you can start building your managed services around this as well. So it's not just the revenue that you make up front, but it's also the revenue that you make maybe on a monthly basis. So now you can go to your customers and say, hey, in the last month, I've mitigated this, and this issue for you. So you can really show your value add to your customers. So don't think about what's the revenue that I can make on just the project. Think about how do I build a managed services muscle around the solution that I already have.
Very cool. So great features and information for customers there, and for you, Crestron, and other OEM partners on there to go and add value to this. Michel, thank you for joining us on this. Go and check out Microsoft.com, search for a Pro Portal for more information on that piece. Go to Crestron.com, search XiO Cloud. There's a free version you can go and download and play with and have a look at. And make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, do all that good stuff here on CresTV, and we'll catch you on the next one.